Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Au revoir. Bold and Beautiful bids adieu to Thomas, and he's not the only one. Monday due. In the blink of an eye, Thomas went from bended knee to standing tall and waving goodbye after Hope turned down his marriage proposal for the second time and Steffi convinced him to walk right out of her life. With Thomas packing up his adorable son Douglas and heading for Forrester International, it crossed our minds that Matthew Atkinson and Henry Joseph Samurai's characters could be headed for the same fate as Thorne and Rick, who moved to Paris to work overseas and have rarely, if ever, been heard from or seen again. But we don't think that's the case here, and we'll tell you why. Hope and Thomas's love story just can't end this way. Why not when two characters are still in love? It's called unfinished business, which means there's more of this tale to be told. I suspect that the PS heart-wrenching forced separation is simply a stall tactic that is setting the scene for a romantic Thomas and Hope reunion in Paris, perhaps during May sweeps. That means that Atkinson and Samurai could be off-screen for a couple of months, unless we're going to get scenes from their new life in Paris. 2 months in Bold and Beautiful time is eons, so Thomas and Hope could even attempt to move on with others in the meantime before realizing they just can't live without each other, of course. Steffi's plot to separate Thomas from his love could come back to bite her if Hope and Finn grow closer as a result, and Thomas just might run into a forgotten Forrester overseas, who could complicate a possible future reunion with Hope. Depending on Bold and Beautiful's plan for Thomas' love life, Atkinson and Samurai could be off-screen for quite some time or only a mere moment. Either way, it's time to say au revoir to these characters for now. In the quaint town of Montmartre, nestled amidst the cobblestone streets and the aroma of freshly baked croissants, there existed a charming little boutique named Au Revoir. Bold and Beautiful. It wasn't just any ordinary boutique, it was a haven for those seeking unique treasures and a touch of elegance. And at its helm was the enigmatic proprietor, Madame Héloïse. Madame Héloïse was a woman of impeccable taste and boundless creativity. Her boutique was a reflection of her vibrant personality, adorned with eclectic decor and shelves brimming with the most exquisite items imaginable. From vintage trinkets to bespoke clothing, each piece told a story, and patrons couldn't help but be drawn to the enchanting allure of Au Revoir. At the heart of this beloved establishment was Thomas, Madame Héloïse's trusted assistant. With his warm smile and keen eye for detail, he was an indispensable part of the boutique's charm. Thomas had been with Madame Héloïse for years, his dedication evident in every stitch sewn and every customer greeted with grace. However, as fate would have it, change was on the horizon. Madame Héloïse had decided that it was time to bid adieu to the bustling streets of Montmartre and embark on a new chapter of her life. The news sent shockwaves through the community, and none felt it more deeply than Thomas. For Thomas, Au Revoir. Bold and Beautiful wasn't just a workplace, it was his sanctuary, his second home. The thought of parting ways with Madame Héloïse and the cherished memories they had created together left him feeling a pang of melancholy. Yet, amidst the bittersweet farewell, Thomas knew that change often brought unexpected opportunities. As the days dwindled down to Madame Héloïse's departure, the atmosphere in the boutique became tinged with nostalgia. Patrons flocked to bid farewell, their eyes misty as they reminisced about the countless moments spent within the walls of Au Revoir. Bold and Beautiful. Each goodbye was a testament to the profound impact Madame Héloïse and Thomas had made on their lives. In the midst of the emotional whirlwind, Thomas found solace in the camaraderie of his fellow colleagues. Together, they shared laughter and tears, finding comfort in each other's company as they prepared for the inevitable farewell. And as the final day dawned, the town of Montmartre gathered to celebrate the end of an era. The streets buzzed with excitement as locals and tourists alike filled the sidewalks, eager to pay tribute to Madame Héloïse and bid au revoir. Bold and beautiful, a fond farewell. The air was filled with music and laughter, a fitting send-off for a beloved establishment. Amidst the festivities, Thomas stood by Madame Héloïse's side, a bittersweet smile playing on his lips. Though his heart ached at the thought of saying goodbye, he couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude for the memories they had shared. Madame Héloïse, ever the beacon of elegance, took his hand and squeezed it gently, her eyes twinkling with affection. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue over the town, Madame Héloïse addressed the crowd gathered before her. Her voice, soft yet resolute, echoed through the streets, carrying with it a message of gratitude and hope for the future. She spoke of new beginnings and the beauty of embracing change, her words a poignant reminder of the resilience of the human spirit. And as the final notes of her speech faded into the night, a collective sigh swept through the crowd. For in that moment, they knew that while au revoir, Bold and Beautiful may be bidding adieu to Montmartre, its legacy would live on in the hearts of all who had been touched by its magic. As the town bid farewell to Madame Héloïse and the cherished boutique, Thomas felt a sense of peace wash over him. Though their journey together had come to an end, he knew that new adventures awaited on the horizon. With a grateful heart and a renewed sense of purpose, he took one last look at the twinkling lights of au revoir. Bold and Beautiful, whispering a silent goodbye to the place that had been his home. And as he turned to walk away, Thomas couldn't help but smile, for he knew that wherever life may lead him, the memories of his time at au revoir, Bold and Beautiful, would forever remain etched in his soul. And so, with a spring in his step and a twinkle in his eye, he set forth into the unknown, ready to embrace whatever the future may hold.